So, my favorite time of the year is almost here. Just a couple more days. Well, at the time of making this video. And I wanted to celebrate by showing off some of my favorite horror games of all time, and just the overall Halloween appropriate games. Now there are some games I'm not going to show off because it would just make this video boring, cliche, because you probably already know of them. Like every single Resident Evil game, for example. It just wouldn't make sense to talk about every single one of them. You know, Dead Space, Dead Rising. I'm just not going to talk about them. I'm hoping that there's a game in here that you haven't heard of, which is the whole goal. Anyways, intro over. These are the top, I don't know because I didn't bother counting them, spooky games of all time. Pumpkin Jack is the very definition of a hidden gem, made by a single person with the production quality of something you'd see on the PS2, developed by an entire studio. The writing is funny, the music will blow your socks off, and there's tons of mini games, platforming, and hack and slash gameplay. You can easily find the enhanced edition on Steam for like $5. Awesome little hidden gem. The next one is Deadlight, and this game has been on my mind ever since I had the demo of it installed on my Xbox 360 back in the day. I remember I had just played through Shadow Complex, and I was so fascinated with the concept of 2.5D because they were relatively new at the time. I noticed Deadlight on Steam recently, and I was able to pick this one up on sale for $1.50.
Anybody alive must be trying to reach it.
So on this channel, I also like to talk about emulation a lot, and PCSX2 has come so far over the years. I've been really excited to jump back into Destroy All Humans, since I never ended up beating this game. I remember we rented this one from Blockbuster one weekend, and it was some of the funnest times I had playing split screen with my little brother.
Did you see what I saw?
You bet your sweet ass I did.
Then we have Maximo, an old Capcom classic that you probably never heard of, but I own this game back on the PlayStation 2, and I remember this being so damn brutally hard. I was never able to beat it. It's basically 3D Ghosts and Goblins, and if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it's part of the franchise, like a spin-off or something. A big part of going back and revisiting the PlayStation 2 through emulation is going back and playing all the games I never had a chance to all those years ago. And Ghost Rider is always a game that comes up in conversation as one of those hidden gems. God of War was the game when it came to hack and slash, and over the years we've had a number of clones: Darksiders, Dante's Inferno, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, and Ghost Rider was considered one of those great games inspired by God of War. Little Nightmares. It's a series I feel dumb for missing out on. I recently played the new one because it looked cool and I seen that it was co-op, and I loved it so much that I went back and played the first two games. I was a big fan of Limbo back in the day, and it reminds me of that game on steroids. We definitely need more of these atmospheric puzzle platformers, because even though they tend to be short, they've become unforgettable experiences for me. Now, I was just going to emulate this on Duckstation, but the remasters are so faithful with tons of bonus content, I just had to pick this one up on Good Old Games. The Soul Reaver games are must-plays, and even though I don't really get into remasters much, this is how you do it right here.
Your physical prowess surpasses what you knew in life.
Alright, you're gonna love this because I just found an awesome way to play PS1 games on Duckstation. Just look how clean this image looks with Medi Evil. Almost like a real CRT monitor. So what I got here is a combination of things. First off, I got my settings dialed in on Duckstation, rendered in widescreen, and then the filter I'm using is an app called Shaderglass. Also, the gameplay you're seeing is a smooth 60 FPS. And how I pulled that off is with an upscaler called Lossless Scaling that I picked up from Steam. Real cheap. And if I'm being honest, going back to PlayStation 1 can be difficult. Some of those games ran at like 15 frames per second, and playing them on a regular monitor, well, it can look pretty bad. But if you use the same combo that I'm using right here, I promise you, you're gonna be stuck in nostalgia. Just look at Symphony of the Night here using the same combo. Insane.
But enough talk. How about you?
Time's over! Let's be
No! It cannot be!
And then we have Resident Evil here, the only one I'm gonna talk about. I'm not emulating this one, I picked this one up on Good Old Games, but look how clean this looks with Shaderglass.
What is it?
Kenneth was killed too. Maybe by this creature. Anyway, let's report this to Wesker.
Wesker! Help me look for him, Jill. And don't leave this hall for the time being. Find anything, Jill?
And how could I forget about Dying Light? This game goes on sale for so cheap, and it has so much content. This right here could be the video. The entire video. This could be your entire month of October right here. I cannot recommend this game enough. Open world, parkour, zombies, the knights are scary as hell, and I still think it has some of the best melee combat I've experienced in a game. Alien Isolation is a game that still looks just as good as a lot of AAA games coming out today. It's also a game I have to work up the courage to play through because the last time was absolutely terrifying. Playing this game with headphones on, darting the camera around, looking at every vent, just knowing I could randomly get impaled from above, I'm not gonna lie, I had to put the controller down.
I'm right here. Verlaine! Damn it!
Now here's one I don't want to see get lost to the sands of time, and that's Condemned Criminal Origins. It's such a damn shame that the sequel never got a PC port. It's also a shame that this game doesn't have native controller support, but you could easily find a community layout on Steam. This is another one of those nostalgic 360 games that I have so many memories of. Another nostalgic game for me is F.E.A.R. And if you're wondering why this footage looks so messed up, is because I could not get OBS working correctly. Even though for me, it looks like it's full screen. The reason I'm still showing this one off is because it's another one that doesn't come with native controller support for some reason. But I found a mod on GitHub that injects the 360X input back into the game. So if you're like me and you primarily play on controller and this is a reason you never picked it up on PC, here's your reason right here. This game goes for like $2 on Good Old Games, and it's one of the greatest games ever made. Okay, so here's the part of the video where I'm looking at my calendar, it's almost Halloween, and I'm starting to feel scope creep. Like I'm never gonna get this video out, so here's what we're gonna do. I didn't record any gameplay footage. It was going to be a section of this video just dedicated to indie horror games, so instead, what I want to do is just play a few trailers for you. If you've never heard of any of these games, I highly recommend these.
We're here. Let's hope this is worth it. Alright, team. Circle around and find targets. Let's get this wrapped up. Terminate them. Survivors 106.
What the hell is going on here? atrocities.
Am I going insane?
But yeah, I was having a conversation in Discord one day, and it was mentioned that I should make a video on, just celebrating Halloween. So, yeah, that's what I ended up doing. Anyways, that's it for me. Later.